Aloha mai kākou. At this time, may I ask that you all take your seats?
Mahalo to Liana Iaya Handa for the beautiful Oli. Aloha avakea kākou. Aloha. And mahalo to those of you physically here with us, as well as a special virtual aloha to all of you joining us across our system through our live stream. It is a privilege to welcome you all to the ceremony today. This year marks the 161st anniversary of the founding of the Queen's Hospital, for which we are gathered to recognize and honor our beloved founders, King Kamehameha IV and Queen Emma, and celebrate their legacy set forth in 1859 to provide in perpetuity quality healthcare services to improve the well-being of Native Hawaiians and all people of Hawaii. My name is Kau'iona Nishizaki, and I'm the manager of the Native Hawaiian Health Program with the Queen's Health System, and I'm honored to be your MC today. This Heritage Day is one of significance as we consider our current pandemic and reflect upon the similar circumstances of our own founders that they faced responding to the spread of infectious disease, the very circumstances that contributed to the need and the founding for this hospital. This year's theme, Kulia I Kanu'u, He Kilohana e Pa'umauai, that is, to strive to reach the highest, being excellent always, was inspired by the written words of our own Queen, to never despond or slacken, Excelsior be our motto. Excelsior meaning higher or ever upward. The word Kilohana in the phrase speaks of something of the finest quality, symbolic of our founders and the Queen's Health System vision to be the preeminent healthcare system of the Pacific Rim. At this time, I'd like to welcome Reverend Al Miles, our lead chaplain with the Pacific Health Ministries, to open our ceremony with our Pule Vehe. Reverend Miles.
Mahalo Kau'i. Aloha. This has been 27 and a half years of service at the Queens Medical Center for my wife Kathy and me, and we treasure every moment. This has been the most unique year with all that's happening with the coronavirus and the ongoing faithfulness of service from women and men serving with the Queens Health System. And with that, and with striving for the highest, I offer a prayer at this time. E pule kako. We thank you, dear God, for the women and men who have committed their lives to service. We thank you for our leadership at the Queen's Health Systems. We thank you for our King and Queen. Be with us as we continue to provide the highest quality of service to our patients, their loved ones, and to each other. We pray this in love. Amen.
Mahalo kahu. May I ask you all at this time to please join and stand and join with me in singing Ke Mele Ho'o Mai Ka'i, the Hawaiian doxology. The words are printed in your program. Ho'onani ka makua mau, ke ki me ka uhane no, ke akua mau ho'o mai ka ipu. Mahalo, e noho i lalo. You may be seated. Today we have the privilege of inviting to the stage to share with you not just one, but two of our passionate and caring leaders and champions. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage our President and CEO of the Queen's Health System, Ms. Jill Hogard Green, and our Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of the Queen's Health System, as well as our President of the Queen's Medical Center, Mr. Jason Chang.
Aloha. It is such a glorious day to be coming together to both look back and look forward. As we're coming to the close of our 160th year, we've had a tremendous amount of time to think through all of the wonderful gifts that our Ali'i founders brought to us. When I think about that, the ones that come so clear to me are their absolute commitment to the people they served, their relentless focus on, as we described, their relentless focus on improvement and making sure we rise up and heal, and their creativity, and most importantly, their compassion. When we look at their needs and what they did, they were in their teens when they came together. This work happened when they were in their 20s. For most of us that are a little bit older than that, to think about how amazing that was, that they would travel around the world to get educated. They were constantly seeing what their people needed, and they were desperately concerned about assuring that their health would be maintained. When they were daunted and folks didn't want to initially fund what they thought they needed, they went door to door, so they were extraordinarily vigilant, very focused. And because of their efforts, what's here today was started 161 years ago. Now, as we have this wonderful opportunity of looking backwards, in our 161st year, we're going to continue to look backwards and forwards. And we have some amazing opportunities, and it's an unprecedented time. We've said that earlier in our conversations today. To be in a pandemic that is relentless, that we have no vaccine for, was the living experience that our Ali'i founders had. But what I've seen this year is the amazing creativity, focus, and that compassion and unrelentless belief that we can do better and we can ensure the health of the people we serve. So I'd like to start today with our incident commander, Jason. He has many titles, but this one started with the pandemic, and we asked him to oversee all the work of how we could come together to meet the needs of the community. He thought it would be for a month or so. I believe he'll have this title for at least a year. So I'd like to turn it to Jason.
Thank you. Aloha. So when we turned the year to 2020, I don't think any of us expected to have the kind of year that we did. But when COVID started to emerge in the community, Queens responded, and we responded the same way we always do. We were the beacon of hope that the community looked to. And I'll reference you back to March 13th. So that was a very significant day here in Hawaii and then across the nation. It was the day that our president declared COVID a national emergency. On that same day is the day that we put our tent up outside the Queens Punch Bowl emergency room. And that tent was a screening station that served as a beacon that Queens was here to take care of all the people of Hawaii, the same way we always have. And so when I reflect back on the resilience of our people, the resilience of our Queens Ohana, it's amazing. Everybody, in the face of fear, in the face of uncertainty, stood up, came to the calling, and took on different responsibilities than many of them were originally intended to do. But selflessly, we took on those roles, we adjusted our schedules, we worked tirelessly, we worked in the face of fear. And we've responded in a really tremendous way. And so I can't be prouder of all of our entire organization across the entire spectrum. Doesn't matter where you are, the Queens Ohana is strong, and that makes me so proud. I want to read a quote that came from King Kamehameha IV back in 1855. So 4 years before the hospital was built, he was addressing the legislature across the street. And in his speech, he said, "I think the decrease in our population may be stayed. I would commend to your special consideration the subject of establishing a public hospital. And it might, at first, be wise to confine the hospital to the most fatal with which our population is afflicted." They built this for us so that we could fulfill our mission. And COVID happens to be part of our mission. The pandemics that came and ravished 70% of the Native Hawaiian population back in the 1850s is here. Sickness has not been eradicated, so we still have that duty upon us, imposed upon us. So I want to share, I think, one amazing story, and it comes from an individual that came into our organization recently through Island Urgent Care and that acquisition. And the individual is so selfless. He is the super swabber. And during one of his days out there swabbing in very hot temperatures, he's swabbing a mother, and the mother became immediately agitated, and her first reflex was to punch him. And in great humility, he didn't get mad. He didn't raise his voice. He acted, the same way that we would expect all of our employees to represent Queens. He calmed her down and was able to obtain the swab, even though she at first was quite agitated and didn't want to go through the procedure. So there's many other stories that as you walk through the hospital and you talk about what their experiences have been, you find that this has impacted people both professionally and at home socially, because so many things have changed. But that's the resilience of our organization, and it's why it makes me so proud and honored to celebrate 161 years with all of you. Jill.
So our thank you, our mahalo is to all of you, because it took everyone, from our folks that are making sure our environment is safe and clean, to our caregivers that are at the bedside caring for patients. As we look forward, we're going to continue to build upon that creativity, that innovation, and that compassion that our Ali'i founders gave to us and continued on with. This year, we're going to spend a lot of time looking forward to the next 5 years and identifying the key ways we need to work together. We call them strategies. What are the things that will help us ensure in perpetuity that we continue the mission that was started by Queen Emma and King Kamehameha? One of those areas, we're going to continue to focus relentlessly on improving quality and safety and compassionate care, and improving the health of the population that we serve, while making it affordable for everyone to access our care. Examples of this were seen all of last year, and we're already on that journey. I was particularly touched by our network, our QCPIN clinicians, who during this very difficult time were reaching out, had identified individuals who were high risk, that had chronic conditions. They were reaching out by phone, making sure they had their medications, making sure that they were getting whatever support they needed to be able to stay well. They also reached out as we started to reopen to make sure that they could get to their physicians. That kind of proactive care and compassion is the way we prevent illness and the way we improve the health of the people we serve. And we saw hundreds of examples like that through our time. Also our stroke team, which you know to be our comprehensive stroke team. We're a comprehensive stroke center, one of the best in the country when you look at our outcome data. They are now known as, within the islands, as the best place to come if you have to have an intervention that can immediately remove the stroke from your blood vessel and make the blood come back so that you minimize the impact on that stroke will have. Those kinds of innovations and continuing to care for all have been happening through COVID and will continue this year, and we're going to continue to say, how can we improve it and how can we extend it? We're going to need to grow, and Jason's been working on work with you to help us grow our programs in our regional network of care.
So there's a part of our mission that is to provide quality healthcare services to improve the well-being of Native Hawaiians and all the people of Hawaii. And I think that's exactly what we're doing. If you look at the recent additions to our Ohana, the Island Urgent Cares was so critical, and we're expanding 2 additional locations. To all the providers like Central Medical Group who are new to the organization, and many, many beyond that. And then if you were at the recent opening of the Empower Health, you're watching the way that we're going to transition healthcare. And I'm very excited about the transition that recently was maybe pushed upon us with telemedicine. We used to see 200 telemedicine visits in a month, and today we're seeing 15,000 in a month. So exponential growth. It's a way that we can deliver quality healthcare services to a broader audience. And hopefully one day that'll go across the entire islands as we start to define our regional network of care and no longer are seen as a place where we take care of people who are sick, but we're helping to be lifetime partners in care, and we're keeping people healthy. So I'm excited about the future, and with all of you, we will define that regional network of care.
Innovation will be continued. And again, remember our Lee fathers and mothers were extraordinarily innovative, and we are too. We'll be partnering with our university. If you look at the research and development that's happened just in the last 3 months during COVID, it's been exponential. We have many collaborations that can improve health of the people we serve. An example was the studies that Dr. Cito and Dr. Lim have been doing, where if you had COVID and you wanted to give back, we've been taking convalescent serum, and then we have had the first patient that had it and immediately improved. Those are the kinds of innovations and research and development in partnership that we can do within the islands and within our community. Now, none of this would happen unless we are a place that understands that we must be caring, compassionate, and a great place to practice with our caregivers. And you know from me, everybody here is a caregiver. All of the roles are needed for us to be able to fulfill our mission. We'll be spending time discussing how best to support our caregivers, and you'll be engaged in that, in helping us craft the best ways to support you in delivering the care and creating the health of the population. So we have an amazing future in front of us. We have a tremendous legacy to build on. And this will be a year of great transition and transformation and very steadfast focus on our mission, which is in perpetuity, improving the health of Native Hawaiians and all individuals in Hawaii. We look forward to you joining together in this work and helping us create the future. Aloha.
Aloha.
Mahalo nui to you both. At this time, we would like to offer ho'okupu to our founders. Ho'okupu is a ceremonial giving of a gift to an ali'i as a sign of honor and respect. It is a way that Hawaiians pay tribute to their leaders. When we present ho'okupu, it brings honor to our founders and is an act of reciprocation on our part to continue to bring forth growth and abundance. The Queen's Health System. Sorry. We'll have our ushers come up first. And they will stand and receive the ho'okupu from you. The Queen's Health System. The Queen's Medical Center. The Board of Trustees. Queen Emma Land Company. The Queens Development Corporation. Queens Insurance Exchange. Molokai General Hospital. The Queens Medical Center, West Oahu. Queens North Hawaii Community Hospital. At this time, we would like to offer ho'okupu on behalf of those who could not be with us today, namely our distinguished Royal Societies, affiliates, and community partners. On behalf of the Queen's Hospital School of Nursing Alumni Association, on behalf of our distinguished Royal Societies, on behalf of our ali'i organizations, and on behalf of our valued community partners. Hey, Kalamai, if there's anyone that we've overlooked, at this time I'd like to open it up for those of you that would like to offer ho'okupu individually. Please come up one by one. Thank you, everyone. At this time, I would like to introduce Kumuhula Liana Iayahanda and Miss Aloha Hula 1997, Kehaulani Enos, Miss Aloha Hula 1997, Kehaulani Enos, to honor our founders with a hula.
Aloha mai kako. The mele that we are going to do for you, the music. I kind of like that background music. The mele that we are going to do for you comes from a mo'olelo about Queen Emma. In 1870, it was about 7 years after she lost her son and her husband. She was still mourning their loss, quite despondent. She took a trip to Kauai and stayed there for about 4 months. And while she was there, she decided, being the avid hiker that she was, and loving to kulia i kanu'u, literally striving to go up to summits, she decided to take a trip to go to the Kilohana Lookout up Waialeale, one of the wettest spots on the earth. And as she gathered her close companions to begin their journey in Koke'e, Showing up are over 100 men, women, and children to accompany her because they loved her so much. And they started out so joyfully singing and chanting and laughing to go up to Kilohana Lookout. But by the second night, they were cold, they were wet, they were muddy, and they were huddled together on logs under a makeshift shelter in the Aipo Bog, which is like a swampy area, the Alakai Swamp. And she looked around in all her depression and saw how despondent everybody was, and she knew her kuleana as an ali'i was to lift their spirits. And so she began herself singing to them and chanting to them, and they responded in kind. And it was at that moment that they realized that she herself was coming out of her fog, and it was something that they had been praying for many years, for 7 years. And so the next day they woke up, they continued their climb to Kilohana Lookout, which is part of our theme, and it was beautiful. And then they descended, and after that trip, those who attended ended up writing several mele, or several songs and chants to commemorate that trip. The one that Kehaulani Inos, she is a former student of mine, and Miss Aloha Hula 1997, the one that she is going to dance is Auhea Vale Oi Eka O'o, which is the mele that she did at the Mary Monarch Hula Festival. And it compares Emma to the O'o bird, like the most precious bird to the Hawaiians. It was a symbol of royalty. And it was written as a reminder to her that no matter what, the Hawaiian people are always her constant companion and there for her through it all. Auhea Vale Oi Eka O'o. Auhea Vale Oi Eka O'o, Manu Leo Nahe O Kauka. Auhea Vale Oe Eka O'o, Manu Leo Nahe O Kauka. Nouka ke ala iliai, kahiko ika laulao. Nouka ke ala iliai, kahiko ika laulao. Wanawe mai oe I ane I a kau I ke ano ai ai. Wanawe mai oe I ane I a kau I ke ano ai ai. Huli ho'i I hana ya ka malama, malama ia I ho ke aloha. Huli ho'i I hana ya ka malama, malama ia I ho ke aloha. I hoa pili no kou kino, la iai kanona o ke ao. I hoa pili no kou kino, la iai kanona o ke ao. Haina kapuana I lohe ia, no e malani no he inoa. Haina kapuana I lohe ia, no e malani no he inoa. He ala ea,
Mahalo Kumuliana and Kehaulani for the beautiful hula to honor our founders. We are very grateful today to have one of our champion leaders with us to provide our closing mana'o. She has been working alongside our system leadership, contributing her wisdom to achieve our mission for many years. Mainet Ani Benham is the chair of the Native Hawaiian Health Committee and a member of the Queens Health System Board of Trustees. She has served as University of Hawaii West Oahu Chancellor since January 1st, 2017. Please welcome Mainet Ani Benham for our closing mana'o.
Aloha mai kako, aloha. On behalf of the Queens Health System Board of Trustees, a most gracious mahalo to everyone for all your gifts of aloha, and especially to Liana and to our beautiful, beautiful dancer today. Today we celebrate the legacy of our founders, King Kamehameha IV, Alexander Liholiho Iolani, and Queen Emalani Kaleleonalani Na'ea. We celebrate the great love and aloha that our founders had for the people of Hawaii, and we commemorate their legacy. Their great work to establish the Queens Health System, their support for education, the founding of St. Albans College, now Iolani School, St. Cross School in Lahaina, and St. Andrew's Priory. While the hospital system and the educational institution will have timeless impact, it is our founders' legacy of compassion, generosity, resiliency of spirit, and the power of their passion to care for all their people that we embrace today. Alexander Liholiho expressed his feelings of compassion in his message 161 years ago with the laying of the cornerstone. He said, "There is something wholesome in being called upon from time to time to acknowledge, however strong our own health may be, and however prosperous our fortunes, that after all, the sick are our brothers and our sisters." It was their powerful passion to care and their hopeful inspiration to a nation battling sickness that inspired the doctors and nurses of that time to serve with compassion. And I believe today it is their call to action that continues to inspire each and every one of you, the Queens Health System's Ohana, to live into our Heritage Day theme, Kulia Ikanu'u, He Kilohana e Pa'a Mauai. Strive to reach for the highest, being excellent always. Several years ago, when I spoke at this Heritage Day, I used the metaphor of a robust and legendary tree, a mother tree, to describe the Queens Health Systems. That tree nourished, protected, and provided unconditional care to the people of our Aina. Today, in this most challenging of times, this mother tree is resilient and powerful. We see it in the many examples of excellent work that you do. A nurse shared a recent COVID case of a young man who was close to death during the zero visitor policy time. The ICU staff provided unconditional aloha and care by making sure that his wife's picture was close by and made sure that daily they had FaceTime connections. This was a treasured time for them both. And there are many other stories of staff helping patients connect with families and friends, and of sitting with and holding the hands of our brothers and sisters. These actions illustrate the commitment and the humility with which you, members of the Queen's Ohana, continue to follow in the footsteps of our founders' legacy to provide service with care, with compassion that guides your action, with aloha that embraces and inspires all you do selflessly, with respect for the dignity of all life, and with excellence always. To me, this is the very essence of the unique roles you each play as branches of this majestic mother tree. And while there might not be a lot of people who see your daily acts of kindness and care, please, please know that your excellence makes a difference every day. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, mahalo, mahalo, mahalo. I am soon coming to the end of my service on the Board of Trustees, much of that time spent as the chair of the Native Hawaiian Health Committee. And I am so deeply grateful to have had the opportunity to live into the legacy of our founders, to serve with passion. It has been incredibly fulfilling to serve with amazing people. Every board member is truly an asset, as each brings a unique skill set, insight, and experiences. And I truly believe that the collective genius is our ability to learn from each other and to use our expertise and our skills in deep, difficult conversations to provide the very best guidance we can to the Queen's leadership. But I will be honest, my most favorite moments is touring the campuses and meeting employees and patients, as it is so very rewarding and inspiring to see the generosity of spirit that so many of you share when contributing to the mission of Queens. It has been said many times that legacy is really about life and living. It helps us to decide what kind of life we want to live and what kind of world we want to live in. I have been truly blessed to sit in the shade of this majestic, magnificent mother tree. Her nurturing environment and passion for excellence brings out the best in everyone. I am proudly grateful and to be a part of this wonderful and caring ohana. No laila, e eleu mai kako, mahalo nui loa ia oko pakahia pau, mahalo.
Mahalo nui Maynette for your words of wisdom, heartfelt. We are grateful to our King and Queen for their unrelenting desire to build a public hospital, a reflection of the burden they felt to save the Hawaiian people and provide comfort and relief to the indigent sick. But moreover, we are grateful for the example that they left us, one of perseverance, a resilient spirit, an enduring aloha, a hopeful inspiration to a nation battling from sickness and infection long ago that continues to inspire us today. As we work together as one ohana across the Queen's Health System to accomplish our mission and serve our community and one another. And although we were unable to gather as we normally do this year, we're so very grateful that even albeit virtually, we can still gather to honor our King and Queen and to just share aloha with one another, because we are truly one ohana. At this time, will you please stand and join me in singing Hawaii Aloha? The words are in your program.
Ku
Mahalo. We'd like to take this time to mahalo all of you and all of the kokua, too many names to name individually, of those who helped make this virtual event possible. So beautiful and so special. Your names are listed in the program, and we thank you immensely. This concludes our ceremony for today. Mahalo nui, everyone.